I like being able to do what I want to do with my money. I like having options. And so when I started saving for this trip to Egypt, some days felt like I was being deprived. Now, I wasn't necessarily feeling like I didn't completely have any freedom. I was deciding what type of freedom I wanted my money to pay for. Grab your smoothie or a cup of tea and join the conversation. Let's go. All right, so as you can see, I'm outside. I'm actually like, I'm right behind my car. I was trying to get my videos completed before everyone else got up. And so now they're up and it's, the bandwidth and just the noise. And I don't want to drive somewhere, which I could, to record. So I decided, just let me come outside and enjoy. There's another rabbit here, and enjoy just being outside until the mosquitoes really become real alive. So just thinking about preparing for a major trip, it can be very overwhelming, but we can do things to decrease that just a little bit. I had to make a decision. If I really wanted to do this, I need to know exactly where the money was coming from. I didn't have a special travel budget set aside, but I had to look within my own finances to see, okay, if we're gonna actually do this, where can we cut? What can we move around, juggle around? So I was like, okay, a lot of times we think about these things being too good to be true, but I really wanted this to happen. I really wanted to go for years. We really wanted to go for years. And so this opportunity presented itself. And so we had to make that decision. If we were going to be all in, what different changes had to happen in order for us to be able to afford this trip, right? So I didn't have, again, the perfect plan. I had to make room in my budget for this. It wasn't always easy. So I know that budgeting is a creepy word for a lot of people. And I don't know if you remember me talking about a joy budget. I've talked about it in my podcast episode before. Is setting aside, if you're gonna tell the money where to go, but we should always be telling the money where it needs to go. I think that was an ant. Here they come, the bugs. We need to tell our money where to go. And I want my money to go to this trip, so I need to tell it where to go. So what can I do? Do I need to work more hours? Do I need to stop eating out more? It took a lot of evaluation to figure out what exactly I needed to do. Let me look to see. I don't know if I just sat in the wrong spot or what. I think something is like dropping on me. One downside is coming outside, and it might be my hair too. I have locks, so it could be my hair, just strings of my hair. I wanted to make this distinction. It's not about stopping to enjoy my life while I plan for this trip. No, I still wanted to be able to enjoy the things I like to do while planning, but I needed to be more intentional about the actual plan and intentional about how I'm going to save for this trip. And it took over a year. I'll let you know that. It took over a year for us to save for this trip. How can I make room for something I've decided matters to me? That is the thing. If something matters to you, you will make room for it, right? So this mattered, so I had to make room for it. Now, I am a big spreadsheet person. I always have been. I've been in several different groups where we would save money. We would, there's a, I forgot, money moves plan I was involved in before. There was some other kind of, I don't know, there was a lot of different things. But I love spreadsheets. And so that has been the best thing for me personally, to a way to keep track of everything. And so I have everything listed on there. And I know exactly where my money is going. I think somebody's house is getting updated. I may have to move. Let me pause. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to stay here for a while. So I already knew where exactly my money was going. And then there is that gray area where I like to get little treats and snacks from different coffee shops. And so I'm like, okay, if I can cut back on these things or be intentional of when I decided to get those items, maybe that would be one thing that would help as well. But it's not about, I'm doing okay. You have to know where that money goes, so you just won't be just like surprised at the end of the month if you don't have enough money for the trip. So I noticed that little gray area, and then we had already planned on actually making sure anything extra over and beyond our paycheck, we put that towards our trip. So it became a line item. It became a category to start feeding that category. And we knew how much we needed to pay by a certain date. And so we made sure that we had that already planned out before the month even started. So that actually helps a lot. Bugs. No. That's Bugs Bunny. One day we'll do an entire video about all of our rabbits. It's Animal Kingdom around here. It's like, in the inside, there's Snoopy and there's Bugs right here. We have to keep them brothers separated. All right, so one thing that surprised me once I stopped looking at individual purchases and started looking at the patterns, I knew, depending on what month, what I wanted to spend, when my spending would be kind of all over the place. Having that extra money, not assigning it, meant that it was going to some bakery. I like treats. And depending on what month, what holiday, we have a local place that makes specialty things, like they'll make French cookies, or they do like specialty, if they have a big bulk order of cupcakes or something like that. The rest of them, they may make cake pops without the sticks, so they're just these little round balls of, like, you bite into it, it's just yummy goodness. So I knew I knew you have to learn what you like and notice the patterns. So I noticed the patterns. So instead, I knew I needed to have some money set aside for that, and don't just be all over the place. So I had to be very intentional, which it was a challenge some months to be intentional. I stopped buying my little coffee drinks, and and I decided, okay, I could do that in Egypt if I wanted. I'm gonna wait and drink my little Egyptian coffee somewhere, I did make sure, put my water over here, I did make sure that I was able to try some other little, like, Mediterranean or other types of other cultural coffee places, and I mentioned that before. So I had to be very intentional. I had to delay that gratification, which I have to remember, it wasn't depriving myself. I was making room for what I really wanted to spend my money on. Like, what was the end result? I had to keep that front of mind. So I didn't need to eliminate everything I enjoyed. I needed to decide how often I wanted the little things versus how much I wanted the bigger things. This is the biggest money lesson because I'm thinking, how many times will I actually have the opportunity to go to Egypt? No, I can, think more positively about it if you want to say, but I'm just thinking about being intentional about a trip like this. Like, some people don't even leave their town, let alone an international trip. And I know I want this to be a test to see, can I actually make this happen? And what do I need to do in order to make this happen? And I have a video for that as well. So let me make sure I make a note so I can remember to include this video. That way I'm being intentional, and I'll tell you about that. So, sometimes in midlife, if you're just tuning in, and maybe you're not in midlife, you're just wondering what this girl is talking about, I'm in that midlife stage, and sometimes we're all over the place. I'll just tell you. And sometimes it can be a challenge staying focused. So I want to make sure that I stay focused. I've been putting helps in place, like my notes and everything, just to keep me on track. And I hope this is helpful for you to see that you don't have to have it all put together, but you should have something put together. And that way you can stay on task, you can stay on point. Okay? And I'm gonna shoo away this, I don't know what that, some kind of bug. Okay. All right. So I want to talk about bulk shopping, because if you're like me, I love to go to Costco. I'm like, this is where I got this coat from. And this is not an ad for Costco, but hey, Costco, if you're watching, this is a pretty color of red, and I have a Costco. You never know. I love Costco. But I had to scale back on my bulk shopping, because what I realized over the course of the months, it's great because I like storing for a rainy day. But when you're planning something intentionally, when you have food just sitting there, you think about the cost. Like that big bag of rice, that big bag, $10 just sitting there. What can I do? I don't know how much the bag of rice costs. I don't remember. I do have it written down somewhere. But just thinking about that, man, it's money just sitting on the table, like literally in the actual pantry. What could I do instead? So I still have the top tier membership for that Costco, and I still can go occasionally, but I've cut down my trips because I would just live there. And if they want to give me some discounts, I'll take them. But you understand what I'm saying. You have to make those decisions. And then also thinking about, if I want to go to that local shop to get a treat, do I have the flour already to make that banana bread? Like, do I have the flour? Maybe just go buy the bananas if you're just missing bananas, or the chocolate to go on there. Instead of going out and spending $7 or whatever, just thinking, being more mindful of your spending, that makes the difference. And I don't want this to turn into a this versus that type of spending video, but I'm just sharing the realizations that I came up with when I was deciding that I was going to go on this trip. So also locally, there was a great benefit because I was able to see what other local places that I have missed that maybe I need to revisit. Like, there's certain times of the year I like to go get my collards from a local farm. What do they have outside of that? I was able to explore other things that they have outside of that collard season. and end up meeting someone that my husband works with. He told us about another farm that was just down the street where he gets his meats. So we were able to visit them before their official grand opening and try some of their things. So I was able to get some cool deals there. So just that, making that decision opened up a whole nother realm of possibilities. So now I have other places to go as well, went to do my shopping, which is amazing because I'm a foodie and I like to find new spots and new places to go. So it was a win-win for us all. So I want this lesson for me and what I'm sharing with you. I started asking whether the way I was spending was actually serving the way I was living. Is it serving me? How is it serving me? Yes, it's served good on my plate, but oh, that was a little joke. Okay, that was a mom joke. Okay. But I had to ask myself those questions. So I'm going to take a little drink because I need to stay hydrated. It is warm out here. Before it gets too hot, we've had lots of heat advisories out here. And there's a truck. I'm on my phone, so I was able to pause and let the truck pass by. And it's a busy area, so I'm sure you probably will hear all kinds of things in the background. But this is my life. This is real life. And I'm being intentional about being committed to actually putting this content out to share with you all, to help give you some encouragement to not give up. On this channel, I'm documenting my journey in real time. And it's a reminder for you it's time to get that energy back, reclaiming that time back. Also, your talents, things that you like to do, figuring out what you want to do with the next stage of your life. So if that is you, subscribe to the Midlife Time Traveler. We are here, we are in midlife, and we're learning how to maneuver all the things, all right? Okay, so money is absolutely part of the conversation. It has to be. We try to leave it out. We want to tiptoe around the issue, but we have to say something about it, right? So some months, like I said, felt very restrictive. It did. Just be honest. And it was like, okay, I want this, or let's go here, or I feel like getting this. And then, of course, the birthdays, the holidays, the unholidays, the unexpected expenses. Things come up, of course, always. Different months required different decisions. So I'm thinking about, what did I tell myself during the month when I felt like I was stuck? I reminded myself, because I talk to myself, I hope you do too. It's encouraging yourself. Like, man, I don't know about this. I might have to move this around. I don't want to do this. Oh my gosh, what should I do? What should I do? What did I do? I took a deep breath. I backed away from looking at the numbers and really was like, okay, what is really needed? Do I really need these things? Do I really need it? Hello. You are free to do what you need to do. It's time for Bugs is Feeding. And I'll show him another day. He is our very active. Think about Bugs Bunny, the actual Looney Tunes and all that. Before it became really Looney Tunes, just think about how Bugs Bunny was and how mischievous he was. Yeah, he will urinate on you. Yeah. He's something else. He's the one we have to really pay close attention to. He will jump out of anything. I'll just tell you this quick story. So he had some type of little respiratory issue, went to the vet, and I didn't go. My daughter was telling me, my daughter and my mom went to take him. And he just, like how kids are sick and they end up doing things and you're like, are you really sick? Well, he jumped in the trash can. Like, he made himself at home. Like, he just does things. And before I even knew that he was going to be like this, I had already named him Bugs Bunny. And he looks the color, the gray color, he just doesn't have the full white in the middle, but the whole persona he has, that's him. So one day we'll have the tour of Rabbitry. So what I had to tell myself that, I had to take a break and say, okay, like, what do I really want to do next? And get creative. That's what made it fun. I had to turn it around and get creative because this is something that is very meaningful to us that we wanted to actually do. And so temporary things, it's just temporary because sometimes you think about it, the next week or so, it's like, what did I want anyway? I don't know if you've heard people talk about that. Before you make certain decisions, maybe wait 24 hours or 48 hours and then see if you still want that thing. One of those things. And that's something I remember doing early on when I had this, and it's not completely available to the public, but there was this whole meal planning thing that I had going on, and that was one of the things was that delayed gratification. That's something I've been working on, and it's continuous. You continue to work on because as you get older, you change, and some things feel like they're more of a priority than others. And so it's a whole new learning experience. You may hear something else in the background. It's going to wait till it passes. So becoming more intentional at home. So during busy work periods, because I am a tax professional as well, I do that seasonally. So some months are more busy than others, and then I have a break too. So that's something that's part of my background. I told you I had a financial background as well. And so those busy periods where I want to grab the convenience foods, and of course, sometimes they have those available for us. We have a little snack, a little place that's full of snacks, and I started doing it, which is funny. So I got on this freezer thing. So I like burritos. And so I'm like, what can I stuff in those? And that's something that helped me to decrease instead of going and getting something from a fast food place. What do I like to make at home? And so I got into the bulk meal planning where I got my tortillas. I like tortillas. There's certain beans that I still can eat, and that's a whole nother conversation with food sensitivities. As you get older, sometimes that happens. And like what kind of proteins and things, what kind of green things that I like, and being able to put all that into a wrap and then freeze it. And then I have those that I can pop out. And then they had started providing us with some little snacks. I'm like, look, I have my little side snack. I don't have to buy anything. I'll make something at home to go with the snacks we had at our workstations. So that's fun. So, at some points you learn how to make it fun or make it interesting and not like, oh, this is a drag. But it's a reminder of you can get around some of those convenience foods because somebody else may have them also, but I digress. So just again, preparing ahead. And the point isn't about nutrition because I'll just tell you that's just part of me. Things kind of spew out of me. You'll start seeing as you're on this journey with me, things that I'm passionate about, they will just come out. But sometimes the one intentional decision starts cleaning up other areas that I wasn't even trying to fix. You'll see when you start being more intentional, other areas of your life, because everything is connected, they'll start cleaning up as well. So at first I thought that budget meant restrictions, and then I realized that it was a direction. I'm telling my money where to go somewhere, regardless, either way, whether it's intentional or not, you're telling your money where to go. So I think sometimes we look at a budget and see everything it's telling us we can't do. So then you're like, well, what can I do? Like, what can I do? But guess what? It's helping me make Egypt possible. And that's the beauty. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I stuck to it. It was challenging. I was so excited. So what do I want my money to make possible for me? And I ask you, what do you want your money to make possible for you? Maybe it's not a trip to Egypt. Maybe it's going on a weekend getaway with your spouse, your partner. Maybe it's a program that you want your child to be a part of, that maybe you can volunteer and be there with them. What is that thing? Also, it's like making room to breathe. You know, sometimes it's like, it feels like you're just stuck. It's just like, oh, but what if your finances had room just to breathe? Your thing doesn't have to look like my thing. And my thing doesn't have to look like your thing. I think what I'm learning is that intentional spending isn't always like this. It's not about what I should not buy, what I should stop buying, or what do I want my money to feed today. I know it needs to feed me. All right, let me I'm gonna take a little water break. I'm having some fun here and getting bit by something on my neck. So the question is, what do I want my money to help me experience, build, or become? What do I want my money to help me experience, build, or become? Because that is the real question. For me, I want my money to help me to experience, travel more. I want to get out. I want to see the world. What's that song? I can show you the world. Is that Pocahontas? I'm quoting Pocahontas. I want to see different things. That thing that has always been there within me to travel, I want to make that happen. I want to see it happening, right? So my question to you, what's something you want your money to make possible that might be worth saying no right now to something else? What's something you want your money to make possible that might be worth saying no right now to something else? Think about that. So, if you are navigating your next chapter, figuring out what deserves more of your time, what deserves more of your energy, your talent, and yes, your money, then subscribe to the Midlife Time Traveler. We are reclaiming our time, our energy, our talents. We are rediscovering our next chapter as to what we want to do, who we want to be, what we want to allow and disallow on this journey. So I'm excited to have you be connected to me and make sure you share this with a friend. There's other midlifers out there that need some encouragement that it's not over for us. We are just getting started. Until next time, while you have the day, make the most of today. Bye for now.